No,
But
but you're not wrong. I think it really is a little like it's not contradictory. No, I think it is a little something that you have to get used to with hearing. Like even with the new SP that I'm manifesting, like there were a lot of habits that I realized that I had that I'm like, oh wait, I can't do this with this one. Wait a minute, that's not a habit. That hold on. It's like when you realize like that old SP that I was manifesting, I didn't catch these habits until I started manifesting the new one, and I was like, what up? Wait, I
right,
can't do that. I can't do the same thing. I can't constantly reach out. I can't constantly be the one reaching out. I can't be doing this. I can't be doing that. Like that. No, that's not healthy. I shouldn't be doing that. I can't get mad. Like I have to like really catch myself. It's that automatic, the automatic sensations of like, oh, these are things that I used to do. The new version of me that has this SP wouldn't be doing that because
right.
I'm in a healthy relationship. I wouldn't be worried about if he's following me or not, or if he unfollowed me, or if he did this, or if he did that, or whatever. I would just be knowing that okay, yeah, he's mine, and this is a healthy relationship, and everything is amazing. I have nothing to worry about when it comes to like other females or whatever. And granted, yeah, I'm a model. I'm a model. I'm a photographer. I'm, I'm either around men or I'm around women. So it's like I see a lot of different things. And on the one hand, like in my mind, because of the stuff that I know and the stuff that I've been through, sometimes it's not um some of the stuff that like yes I hear, oh Sheila, you're really pretty. Like why like you're really pretty. Like I hear that on an everyday basis. But there's like little things, like little beliefs that I was like, why do I have this? And it didn't. It took that awareness. It took that mindset shift to be like, no, like this is not conducive towards my future. Like this has to like no, it's that decision. Like I gotta stop. Like you have to hold yourself accountable. That's why a big portion of my discipline comes from being able to once I say I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it for a longer period of time because it's easy to just do things for like a week or 14 days or whatever. And yeah, that's easy. But doing something for longer than that,
Yeah,
that's it's like working out. You're going to the gym, you're working out. Like this is like you're working your mind. Like that's something that you have to do on a regular basis. Like otherwise your monkey mind is just gonna take over.
it's true. Yeah, 90 days is OD.
Like
You,
it's easy. It wasn't easy. Not to the know. But all of these tools, help me to be the version of myself that I am today.
exactly.
And if I didn't go through all of those experiences, while I was doing this 90 days, I went 6 months without social media.
Oh wow,
So
that's discipline.
I,
That's
I was focused.
yeah. No, that's what you're talking about. Like I said earlier, 99% of people can't do this. That's discipline for sure.
Like, was it easy? No. But I needed to do that so that I could focus and regroup and learn more about myself and what I wanted and who I am. And it made me appreciate being it made me appreciate things and the beauty of life in a way where I'm like, no, I am never letting somebody come in my life and take that from me ever again.
Mm, beautiful.
Like period. So knowing that, my question to you is what made you start what made you start giving the perspective shifts of what you do, like and at that the real perspective truth, like not the sugarcoating, like the way, like what made you start speaking on these things?
Well, I'd say when I saw it might have been, I don't know if it was, I feel like I want to give myself credit and say I've been doing it since I started, but it might have been over the last 2 years or so when I just kept seeing videos pop up and I just kept seeing these titles and I kept just seeing different content creators And I started when I would work with people, they would always tell me, "Hey, I work with such and such. Yeah, I work with such and such." And I realized that we pay attention to the shiny object. We pay attention to, oh, this person has this many followers. This person has that many followers. I'm gonna listen to this person. I'm gonna work with this person, not realizing that could be a trap. And when I started hearing all these people's stories about who they're working with and them not getting any results, and one person in particular, we're not gonna say no names, but I heard so many people. I heard that people were getting sick, literally physically sick, and going to the hospital, being put on antidepressants, going to a mental hospital. Seriously, they were.
No, I'm laughing at Danny's content and comment.
Oh, what's up with Danny? What's Danny talking about?
He said trap like subconscious.
Oh, yo, you put out a video about subconscious Lodge. I've heard every time somebody brings her up, I just hear crazy stuff about her. But I'm not gonna do this in your live, Sheila. So, but yeah, whatever. I got sidetracked.
No, because it's fine. Because what creator have we not, there is not one person that I've not heard crazy. There are very few, and the very few creators that I can say at the top, I can literally still maybe I can count y'all on my hands and my toes. How many of y'all are actually the real ones?
Yeah.
You, Danny, Yima, there's very few of y'all. And I'm friends with all, I'm cool with all of y'all. But that's because the real attracts the real.
Right.
And while there are some that might throw in a shout out to the ones that, there are very few that do shout out the ones that I don't want to say their names. I can still rock with them without holding that against them. And I say that in a way, of course you are. I say that in a way where, because of the experiences that I've had and the books that I've read, example, the On Dialogue book that I read, I took a mindful communication class. So I know how to communicate with you without, I know how to communicate with people who might not see the vision, who might not agree with me, in a way where it gets them thinking, that it opens up their perspective. Because at the end of the day, those particular coaches, one, they forgive them for they don't know better. One,
right.
Two, their assumptions, I can't fault them because their assumptions are also based on society. It's based on society. It's based on their perception. It's based on all of this stuff. And even the people who are die hard I'm for this creator, they don't see that, wait, maybe I need to take a step back from this and see why, see this from a different angle. How is this helping me? Is this serving me? But because they're so ingrained in it and they're not as mindful as they should be, it gets overlooked. And yeah.
They're just dogmatic. A lot of these content creators, particularly from the Neville community, not all of them, but a lot of content creators, they are dogmatic in their approach. And the people and I said this in my recent video, I said this in multiple videos, but the content creator you run into first in this stuff could be life or death for you, especially when it comes to manifesting SP. Because if you get the wrong content creator, you might be screwed, because you might go down that path of just affirming 24/7. Mm-hmm. And like I said, end up in a mental hospital, end up on antidepressants, because I've heard stories like this of people affirming all day, every day, because that's the hot thing, right? Affirming. And they're told that, oh, I'm going to get what I want if I affirm all day, every day, just affirm. And then they literally get physical symptoms. They get sick, go to the hospital, all of these crazy things that I'm hearing from people working with other people. And, that's what made me kind of take this approach and realize, and even in my own life, realizing that LOA isn't working the way these coaches make you think it works. Now, it can work that way, but I don't think people understand the process that they have to go to get to that point. To get to that point of where instant manifestation, you can do that all the time. You know what I mean? Because, and I tell people a lot of times too, this stuff, like most of us, we're not going to master this stuff. It's every day we're getting better at it. Every day, every day, every day we're getting better and better and better and better. But most people, in my opinion, they're just not gonna, because our self concept and our life experiences are just too messed up for us not to go back and to tell the old story all the time. You know what I mean? Especially if you've gone through something traumatic. You know, like I've watched your videos before. You talk about your situation. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go through stuff like that, it's no wonder people can't visualize, because when people close their eyes to try to visualize, all they are seeing is the original sin. All they are seeing is that time that they went through something very traumatic with their personal, that they went through something traumatic with their family member or whatever. Like you can't visualize it. Every time you close your eyes, you see that event happening again. And so that's why I always tell people a lot of times the technique they need to be doing is revision. It's because you gotta, before you can really move forward and start to kind of decree things, as Neville would say, or speak things into existence, you gotta stop talking about the past and thinking about the past, because Neville said that in his book, that's the cause of all evil. You know, the fact that you keep thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, you can't get past that. Not doing revision is the cause of all evil, basically. And so, yeah, when I saw a lot of content creators making those types of videos and telling people, then I started working with people and their experiences, and they were telling me their stories. I was like, no, I gotta call this out. And I think one video that really helped me, because I was on the fence, but one video that helped me was your video. I saw your video you made.
Thank you.
And when you call somebody out, and I was like, oh, I've never seen nobody go for smoke like that towards a content creator. And then I watched your video. I said, because you were commenting on my videos, and I was like, who is this? And so then I checked, and I was like, oh, she got a account. Let's see what's up. And then I saw then one of your videos popped up, and I was like, oh, I gotta watch this. And then I watched it, and then it was just bullets, baka, bullets. And I was like, yo.
Okay, I couldn't help it.
But everything you said in there was truth, though. Like, it's truth. And that's where a lot of these coaches mess up, is because they give one size fits all advice to people who are going through who are at different levels of consciousness in their life. So you can't, and you basically kind of said that in your videos and in your way. And that's why so many people struggle with manifestation, because they think, oh, all I gotta do is this. No, that's not all you have to do. You might have to go to therapy first before you actually get good at manifesting. You might have to. You know what I mean? You might have to deal with those demons or whatever before you actually start just doing techniques, because everybody wants what they want quickly. And, you know, it's, for most of us, it's not going to happen quickly. And for most of us, we're not going to be able to just call things into existence whenever we want to call it into existence. You know, once we get nice and deal with the past and all that type of stuff, yes, it will be more prevalent. You'll start to notice, oh shit, it's happening more and more and more. Oh, I can control myself. I can control my reality more and more and more. But in the beginning, these clickbait titles and thinking you're going to get something in 3 days or a week or whatever, it's, for most people, it's not saying that it can't happen, because it can. But from me working with people all these years, so many people struggle with Neville's work. And it's just honestly not talked about in this community, because it's just blasphemy to curse Neville or anything like that. So, yeah.
Like, and I'm not sitting here being like, okay, yeah, it's not, like, Neville's not, like...
He's not lying.
Like, he's not lying.
And the content creators aren't lying. They're right in what they're saying, but where they're not being honest is they're not telling you, yo, it might not work for you as fast as you wanted to, or it probably isn't. That's where the dissonance comes in, but yeah.
And it's like, even if, like, for example, and that's why, like, even with my content creation and my process, like, I realize I'm a very lazy manifester. I'm very much a lazy manifester, in the sense of, I prefer to listen to my affirmation tapes than to listen to subliminals over anything else. So right. I'm very, very much a lazy manifester. But I'm also a loud manifester. And what I mean by this is that all throughout school, I kept on telling everybody, oh, whenever I would meet people, like new people or whatever, and especially when I was on here, on TikTok, and this is how I built my platform, I would be like, yeah, I'm in school to study this, and this, and this, and I will get my master's degree in mindfulness, and I'm gonna get my PhD in neuroscience and blah, blah, blah. Like, I spoke it into existence. And it's right. Time I met somebody on the street and they asked me what I did. I said, I'm a model. I said, I'm this. I said, I'm that. And I'm in school to study this, and this. They would commend me. I enrolled somebody else in my Envision. And they clapped for me. They're like, that sounds interesting. Great. I want to see you win. Little did I know, because I'm never going to see them I'm never going to see them again. But because I enrolled them in my vision, they just helped manifest me graduating. without realizing it. And that's what I mean by that's what essentially speaking something into existence is. You are rolling somebody else into your vision for what you want, but for also what you how you see the world. And I think the biggest part is that for me, I'm very much an communist where I see the truth in everything, and I like to take bits and pieces of little things, and
I like that.
I like to make my own way of doing it. So like it's like my basis is like definitely Christian, not like it's definitely Christian,
Yeah,
but I don't go to church. But I will dabble in a little bit of like magic here and there, whatever. But I do like some Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange and like Law of Assumption, but like holistic psychology and the mindfulness and the like there's like all of these things.
it's all connected.
It's all connected. But like the biggest part for me is that when hey Rhonda, I hope you're feeling better. The biggest part for me is that because all of these things are connected, we don't realize that even what you saying about the going to therapy or whatever, there's more than one way to go to therapy. It's
Right.
not just talk therapy. But most people when you say, hey, maybe I need to go to therapy, we don't realize that they don't know that there's more than one way to therapy. They just think it's just, oh, I gotta go to talk therapy and I gotta talk out my problems and blah blah blah, this, that, and third. No, there's so many other ways of therapy and so many other ways of healing modalities. Like Wanda, that it just came in here. She's my Reiki master. She does my Reiki. I just started incorporating that. I just started incorporating that. I just started incorporating cupping therapy. Like there's so much stuff. There's play therapy, sand therapy, there's dance therapy, art therapy, like photo therapy. That's a thing. I didn't know that these were a thing until um I didn't know these were a thing until I went to school. And
Exactly.
and the irony about it is that um, we did have conversations about LOA in school. Okay, we had these types of conversations. We brought it up. Hey, Dr. Pink. So the fact that we talked about it